Don't act happy to the media.
Yeah. 2 more, dog.
We don't say anything.
MVP, bro.
Let's go. 124 to 114. LeBron James. Sorry, I got my eyes on big game. It's tough not to watch him and Karan right now. 33, 9 and 9.
Yeah. Y'all see it.
Nice.
The old man bounce right there.
Mm-hmm.
All upper body, too. We just here with it. Hands in the pocket,
Nice.
just back on up. Every once in a while, throw.
I like that.
Just wish we were
hear from
down at
Frank
Staples
Vogel.
Center. That's the only thing that's missing.
It's the only thing missing.
Down there with the fans, man.
Kids maybe put the flag on the car today, and I said, it's just not the same when you're not rolling it down to Staples Center. Let's hear from Frank Vogel. He's speaking with Mike and the media.
Hey, Frank, Mike Trudell. On the walk-off for Spectrum, AD's basically said that he wasn't satisfied with the way that you guys as a team played overall. Thought there were a lot of places that things could improve. So despite winning by that margin, what do you take away from his reaction to the game?
I agree with him. Particularly on the defensive end, we knew they were going to be different. And, with no Bam, they bring 5 3-point shooters. And, their movement offense is very difficult to guard no matter who's in uniform. But we definitely have to do a better job, in particular on the defensive end. I thought we attacked offensively really well. Had one of our, we had a poor shooting night from perimeter. But I liked the quality of the shots for the most part. And, even having a poor shooting night, we still end up with an offensive rating of 136. So I was pleased with what we did on that end of the floor. Obviously you can always get better on both sides, but defensively we got to be better.
Frank, just wondered what those conversations were like in practice with LeBron, with Rondo about dissecting a zone, and you guys just getting to that level of talking about who's.
Yeah, just we know the spacing that we want to get to, in a few different alignments. Obviously, a lot of teams don't have 10, 15, 20 different zone offensive plays like they do with man-to-man. But there's a few different alignments we want to get to out of the zone that we feel are favorable to the offense. We got a lot of them tonight, and obviously Doe and Bron and our whole group has a great ability to communicate where the holes are, what they're looking for, and work together in those types of things.
Frank, what were you seeing happening in the third quarter there when they cut that 18-point lead to 9, especially defensively?
In the third quarter, you said?
Yeah, when they cut down, you guys had an 18-point lead, and they cut it all the way down to 9, and just wondering what you saw.
Yeah, this team has a lot of fight, and like I said, they're extremely difficult to guard no matter who's in uniform. It doesn't matter that they had some guys out; they're a deep team, and with Bam out, they become different from a standpoint of more spacing at the 3-point line, which presents different kinds of challenges. Obviously, Bam is an all-star, one of their best players, but they become different. With him and Dragic out, and those guys played extremely hard, kept fighting to cut into the lead. Like I said, we got to do some things better, a lot of things better on the defensive end, but that's what getting to work and the process is all about. Review the film, meet tomorrow as a team, and make some improvements.
Awesome.
Start with David Veneman.
Frank, this is the first time a pair of Laker teammates scored 30-plus in a finals game since Shaq and Kobe back in 2002. What is the way that Anthony and LeBron are able to dominate at the same time? Do they take turns? Do they feed the hot hand? How do they kind of work it out together that way?
Well, they both, and our whole team attacks the defense and reads. You know what I mean? And obviously they both have the ability to score against single coverage, so to speak, whatever action you're talking about. But they're both willing passers. So sometimes they're feeding each other. Sometimes they're destroying their own man. And sometimes they're making the extra pass to the open man. Both have that elite ability to score and to read defense. So, again, big reason. Those two were huge tonight and a big reason for the win.
Dan?
Frank, you guys had, I think, looking at it right here, 16 offensive rebounds, 8 for Anthony. Physically, how have you guys been able to kind of dominate and use your size in this series, and how big of a factor do you think that's been in these 2 wins?
Yeah, we got a lot of those rebounds, not even, with our big lineup. There's a lot of holes in the zone. That's one of them, being able to crash the boards. And we definitely punished that aspect of their zone defense.
Go with Kyle.
Frank, in those situations where you're losing a lead, I mean, you've been in that position a lot these playoffs and gone on to win a number of those games anyway, turned it back. What do you look for in the groups that you want out on the floor? And to your observations, what's their sort of dialogue? Are they trying to simplify things, or how do they approach it?
Well, each group knows what the strengths are of the personnel that are out there. The great thing is we always have either Rondo or LeBron out there to quarterback the action, and make sure that we're seeing the targets and trying to get the ball to guys in positions to be effective. And when you have two guys like that, or one of them on the floor for all 48 minutes, you're going to get a lot of good action. So I credit those guys.
We'll go back to Dan for follow-up.
Frank, this league, by and large, has gone small in the last decade or so. Why has going large worked for you guys and being big?
Well, we haven't necessarily gone large, big, used the word large. We're a hybrid team. We play all season long, half the game big lineups, half the game small, and then we have the ability against bigger teams to play more minutes with a big lineup, and we have the ability to play more small lineups against smaller teams when that's needed, like you saw in the Houston series, like you saw with a lot of tonight's game. Dwight started, but he was very effective in his minutes, and that's the biggest thing is our ability to be a hybrid.
All right, we're going to go back to Will for our last few.
All right, yeah, Frank, I'll have a couple more for you. Bill Orr.
Hey, Frank, you indicated in your on-court interview with Rachel that offensively for AD in that third quarter is probably about as good as it gets. Curious what you've seen from him kind of throughout this postseason run from him in terms of his confidence and his aggression, and what kind of growth you've seen in his mindset as you guys have gotten deeper into this.
Well, you said the word right there. His mindset is he wants to be a champion, and he's extremely motivated to play at a high level, and you're seeing it every time he steps onto the floor. Obviously defensively, he's a unicorn, in my opinion, the defensive player of the year. But his shot making, the many ways that he can hurt you offensively, in the post, rolling to the basket, working the baseline like he did against his own, working the middle, shooting threes from the perimeter. It's just very unique, and you can just see his determination, to win this championship on both sides of the ball. But I thought tonight you saw
a roll, offensive rebounds.
And James,
it's just amazing.
Big game. We talked about this the other day. Rob was on set, Karan, but kind of how LeBron is loving AD in this spotlight. I think he's really enjoying it. That's part of their friendship. What they said, we're never jealous of each other. And here he goes, 33, 9, and 9. But bro, that's every day.
He understands the importance of AD developing into this space. It was kind of like when LeBron came down to Miami and you knew that he was that young special talent, and D Wade ushered him into the space of winning championships. I see the same thing happening with AD coming to the Lakers. LeBron still being the best player on the planet, but just ushering him into this championship space.
You mean the Spurs with Duncan, with Ginobili and Parker, kind of letting them come? And James, I'm curious, and I'm sure Kareem had to do that for Magic. Yeah, here comes this personality.
Look, Kareem was the man when he got here, but they could not get over the hump of winning. When Magic came, Kareem was so smart enough to know Magic had the personality, he had the verbal engagement with teammates, and he said, brother, it's all yours. I'm going to throw the scout hook and let you do it.
And win 5 titles.
And then when I came in, I had players like Jamal. I had a plethora of players. Jamal Wilkes, a Hall of Famer. Bob McAdoo, a Hall of Famer. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Hall of Famer.
Mitch.
I had a lot of guys. Yeah. Pat Riley, Jerry West. I had a lot of people to lean on. It took a lot of pressure off of me as well. So, yeah, it's nice to have teammates
who care about you and not about who gets what and all that, especially this time of the day.
We'd be remiss if we didn't mention Rondo. I think Rondo's played a huge role, and AD was adamant about him staying in LA, and there was a reason for that, and he's taken pressure off of LeBron as well. He was huge tonight, especially clutch moments. Hit a couple big threes. That's not what Rondo's game was back in 2008, 9, and 10 when he's playing with the Celtics against the Lakers.
And look, I don't buy into the playoff Rondos. I know that people are going to look at the numbers and be like, playoff Rondo, he's like a whole nother player. I think Rondo's just Rondo.
Yeah.
Rondo is a hell of a basketball player with a high basketball IQ. He brings it night in and night out. Now, sometimes, it's hit or miss, but he's still going to be that ultimate competitor. And what I love from Rondo, what I'm seeing right now in this moment, he was exactly what we needed. He inserted himself. He's the coach out there on the floor alongside LeBron James. Some facilitators. He's knocking down three-point shots at that one spot that he loves right there.
Yeah.
I just love what he's doing, and I think he's elevating this ball club, right to a championship.
Yeah.
I swear to God, if the Lakers' entire coaching staff got thrown out of the game, I wouldn't be worried at all. Rondo,
it's a great stat.
I just let him do his thing.
Two out there.
I just let him do his thing.
LeBron and Rondo still out there.
It would not be a problem at all. He could do it.
It's real when somebody go like this. I swear to God.
Yeah, it's like when he was talking to Brez earlier.
It's real.
Yeah, it wasn't even on the show yet. Yeah, it's real. Jeannie Buss was Jeannie and Linda they were at the game. By the way, it's good to see the governor. Jeannie Buss and Linda Randall.
Was they turned up?
Oh yeah, little kisses. There's our new gift of the day.
Are they blowing kisses
at us?
Pat Riley across the way.
Pat, we're up 2-0, Pat.
We miss you.
Oh, man.
Done a great job up there in the front.
Oh, they have. I don't ever usually want another man's suit, but I like that suit.
Oh, appreciate you, man.
All right, let's get to the, I had to get that out before the highlight.